I've been super excited for Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe ever since I first heard it was announced. I've been super amped and excited, really wanting this. Yeah, I'm a bit of a Beavis and Butthead fan. And I liked the 2010 stuff that came out. I thought that would lead to more, and I was disappointed that it didn't. So here we go. We're having another crack at it with Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. It's directed by John Rice and Albert Caleros, and it's written by Mike Judge and Lou Morton. Stars Mike Judge, Gary Cole, Nat Faxon, and Shane McBride. Talk about wrapping yourself up in a nice, new, snuggly blanket that is familiar in all the ways you want it to be familiar, but that does some unexpected things that makes you laugh. I really enjoyed my time watching this movie. Watched this with friends, and we just had a blast. And the thing about Beavis and Butthead is, if you are a fan of it and you've watched enough of it, and most of us all had, when you watch even new Beavis and Butthead you've never seen before, you kind of know that, all right, he's going to say it's cool. They're both going to do this stupid thing. This is where it's leading. And then it happens, and it's funny. Sometimes the old familiar is funny, but then it also throws enough curveballs or plays with that familiarity to come up with such amazing lines that's had me howling with laughter. And I'm going to spoil one right now. Beavis says, "How did these guys disappear?" And Butthead's like, "Who cares? Magic sucks." I'll be fucking cackling with laughter. So Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe. It starts with them in 1998, which is around when the original series ended. And through a series of dumbness, they wind up in space camp. They wind up in space, and then they get sucked into the future. It's all in the trailer. There's one little nitpick I'll say about this movie is I thought when they go to the future, you would meet older versions of the characters that they knew as young boys, or were back in the 90s. They're still young boys. Like, it would have been cool if you saw, like, Stuart, still with the winger shirt. Now he's got a son who's maybe 15 or whatever, or a little younger, and he might have, like, a Nickelback shirt on or something like that. That would have been kind of funny. Other than that, you don't really see the old familiar characters except at the start when they're in 1998, so be prepared for that. If you're disappointed you don't get to meet what a lot of the characters now look like in 2022, it's not that big a deal, because what happens in this movie more than makes up for it. I was laughing the whole time. It's obviously it's got things in common with the first movie, where it's kind of a road trippy adventure of dumbness, but it feels like it's got a completely different vibe. The soundtrack's not quite there, but they make up for it by just making me laugh the whole time and just bringing in things from 2022 that are really stupid and just shedding light on it. And they also just play with comedy tropes and things that I really like too. Like, they do this really dumb thing that a lot of comedy movies do, and I was getting ready to be like, And this trope is, all right, you get a comedy movie, these two guys are besties, conflict happens, and they part ways, only to come back to the end and be like, we're stronger than ever. They do that in this movie. And that should have bothered me, but the way that is resolved, I was like, it's kind of naughty, but I like it. It's a pretty good resolution. It fits their characters really well and brings them back together. So in this one case, I'm going to allow it. I guess if a trope's done well or makes me satisfied and it's in keeping with the characters and things like that, it doesn't bother me so much. See my review of The Gentleman, where that movie does a trope I don't like, but it does it well enough that I allow it. Yes, my permission must be granted. But at the end of the day, this movie is a really fun time. If you're a fan of Beavis and Butthead, I don't think you'll be disappointed. I certainly wasn't. I've seen this twice now. Watched it yesterday with friends, and I watched part of it last night and this morning just because I wanted to hear some of the jokes again and see some of the dumb shit in it. So yeah, if you're a fan of Beavis and Butthead, I think you'll enjoy this. If you're not, I don't see this changing your mind. But it's a nice warm comfy blanket that I liked wrapping myself up in, and I hope there's more in the future. Gimme. This is 7 out of 10. Does a few things the same as the first movie. That's fine. But it does enough different that I'm pretty much satisfied. I just wanted this to be a fun, decent time. So much stuff that I love from when I was younger has come back and has been like, well, it sucked. Looking at you, Star Wars. Some parts of Star Trek, Strange New Worlds is really good. You know, so much has come back and I've just been like, I don't like it. Then every now and again, something I love will come back. And it just makes me feel that thing. The thing that Disney wants you to have with Star Wars, you're like, I remember. That's nice. I don't get that from that kind of stuff. I did get it from this. Because I feel like they did something, the characters are completely in character in this movie, but they do new and interesting things with them. We find out a couple facts about Beavis and Butthead we didn't know before, which is super sweet. And it sets up a status quo at the end that's completely new and different, which, please give me a new series. Please, 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 please. Thank you. Okay. Watch this. It's a fun time. It's not too long. And I had a smile the whole time. What do you want?